Hello, lovelies. I'm back. This is Kimberly Purpose, and welcome to my channel. Hello, family. Today, I want to do another interesting video blog, and this time I wanted to talk about the Star-Spangled Banner. Found a nice article here. Wonderful article. Actually, I came across it while doing some research, and I said, I want to talk about this. Yes, I did. I found this article off the Root. It's an older article, but it's talking about history, so it's still still relevant as to, and very informative. That's what I want to discuss this. It says here, the Star Spangled Banner, bigotry, the hidden racist history of the national anthem. A lot of people don't realize that the national anthem and has you know some racist parts to it. It has some stanzas in there that is not shared. They don't sing it at the Olympics and at all the sporting events at all. And because it's very racist, it talks about the slaves in a negative light. And a lot of people don't realize that it has a hidden a stanza that was removed in order, because they knew that it wouldn't bring unity and people would not want to sing that particular anthem if they knew that it had such racist undertone to it. But I really like this article. It's really good. It's very informative and everything. And like I said, I mentioned in another video about how everything we do here, it's a ritual. And I know when the NFL players took a knee standing for the national anthem, that's a ritual. And a lot of the parts that's missing and the root of the song when it was originally written was based solely on slavery. And it's sort of weird. It just seems like a lot of the stuff that's done here in this country is based on a lot of rituals, a lot of rituals that's based on slavery and the oppression of the Aborigines here in the Americas, the AKA African Americans. And I talked about the human labeling system and how it was oftentimes no, it was based on slavery. There's no way I can say about go around it. Is I did my research. It's based on 1700s, and it's pretty much based on slavery. And so then now you're hearing about the national anthem. It's based on slavery. It's like everything you do, with the ritual, is based on slavery. So it's like based on the oppression of African Americans, the labeling system. Color white means purity, color black means evil, and you keep on calling yourself black and calling them white. It's like the chronic cycle of being oppressed. So, and then now the national anthem, you hear about the stanzas that were in there as being based on slavery, having some negative connotation to it. But no, y'all might want to check out those other videos that I had about the human labeling system. I sort of go into detail about that, and also what the colors means and represent and everything. But in this video, I'm gonna go on ahead and read this article. It says here, the Americans generally get a failing grade when it comes to knowing our patriotic song. I know more people can recite American Althea from Team America than America the Beautiful Yankee Doodle. No one older than the fifth grade in the chorus class remember the full song, God Bless America. More people know the Reverend Jeremiah Wright remix than the actual full lyrics of the song. Most black folks don't know the Black National Anthem. There's a great story about Bill Clinton being at an NAAC meeting when he was the only one who knew past the first line. And that, of course, that was on Woke in 1990s. Bill Clinton was woke in the 1990s. But then it says here, in case of the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, perhaps not knowing the full lyrics, is a good thing. It is one of the most racist, pro-slavery, anti-black songs in American lexicon, and you would be wise to cut it from your 4th of July playlist. Wow. It says the Star-Spangled Banner, as most Americans know, is only a couple of lines. In fact, if you look up the song on Google, only the most famous lyrics pops up on page 1. So see, they don't like to publicize. And see, I believe this is the popular verse right here. It doesn't mention the slaves right here, but this is the verse. This is the verse that everybody sees as the popular one without the negative connotation to it. And see, I'm gonna put a link to this so y'all can see it. It looks like this is a very popular article. It's already been shared almost over a million. Wow. Okay. But yeah, for those of y'all who still don't know about the other standards, now I'm sharing it with y'all. I thought it was quite interesting. It says the story, as most of us as old as the Francis Scott Key, was a prisoner on a British slave ship during the War of 1812 and wrote his poem watching the American troops battle back invading Baltimore, That as the case was the case with 99% of history that is taught in public school and regurgitated by mainstream press, it is less than half the story. See? They don't tell the whole truth of what happened. See, that's what I was talking about, the indoctrination here in Americas. You know, we didn't even know about the Indians, the Aborigines, that we are the Aborigines. We didn't know the slave trade was taught in the reverse. And now here we are. There's more parts to the national anthem that we didn't know about that's not shared because they want to hide the fact that's based on slavery. But anyway, and it says, to understand the full Star-Spangled Banner, you have to understand the author. Key was an aristocrat and city prosecutor in Washington, D.C. He was like the most enlightened man at the time, not against slavery. He just thought that since blacks were mentally inferior, masters would treat them with more Christian kindness. He supported sending free blacks, not slaves, back to Africa, and with a few exceptions, was about as pro-slavery, anti-black, anti-abolitionist as you could get at the time. Oh, it don't sound like a nice person, Sound like a race. It still sounds like a racist, a bigot. Wow, and this is who wrote the song. This is how they felt about the Aborigines here in the Americas. So we pretty much have a racist bigot who wrote the song, and we singing this ritual. It's a negative ritual, and that's, like I said, another perpetual oppression through this song, and it's some of the stuff we shouldn't even be singing or supporting. But anyway, of course, note was Key's opposition to the idea of colonial Marines. The Marines was a battalion of runaway slaves who joined with the British Royal Army in exchange for their freedom. Marines was not only a terrifying example of what slaves would do if given the chance, but also a reputation of the white superiority that men like Keyes were so invested in. Wow. I didn't know that about that. The Marines battalion runaway slaves. See, you don't hear about that in the history books. And I can't really blame them. If you're a slave, you don't want to be a slave for the rest of your life. You want your freedom. So you can't really blame them for wanting to do this to get out of the cruelty umbrella of being a slave, under the whole entity of slavery. So I can't blame them. But anyway, let's continue. All of these ideas and concepts came together around August 24th, 1815 at the Battle of Blattenburg, where Keyes was serving a lieutenant at the time, running into the battalion of Colonial Marines. His troops was taken to the woodshed by the very black folks he disdained. See, he didn't like Aborigines. He he fled back to his home in Georgetown to lick his wounds. The British emboldened his victory of Blattenburg and then marched into Washington, D.C., burning the Library of Congress, the Capitol building, and the White House. You can imagine that Keyes was very much in his feelings seeing Aborigine soldiers trampling on the city he was so desperately loved. Yeah, I'm sorry. I try to remember to replace black with Aborigine or copper color. I gotta make sure I remember. But yeah, the Aborigine soldiers trampled on the city as he so desperately loved. Wow. This guy is awful. It says a few weeks later, on September of 1815, far from being a captive, Keyes was on a British boat begging for the release of one of his friends, a doctor named Williams Beans. Keyes was on the boat waiting to see if the British would release his friends when he observed the bloody battle of Fort McHenry in Baltimore. The American lost the battle, but managed to inflict heavy casualties on the British in the process. This inspired Keyes to write the Star-Spangled Banner right then and there, but no one remembered that he wrote a full third stanza, decrying the former slaves who were now working for the British Army. So here goes. I'm going to read this to you all. This is the part that's they always taking out. It's the third stanza. Find it interesting, number 3. Those of y'all who are into numerology, I don't think 3 is a good number. And I just sort of want to mention, I'm sort of off the topic. They have a bill that's number 13 in there that's sort of indicative of the Aborigines as a law. I think it's the prison system or something like that. I can't remember. I gotta look at Dan Calloway's video. I wanted to let y'all know that you might want to look at the numerology. A lot of the things that the Great Caucasoids does when they pass laws and when they pass certain things, they look at the numbers. Numbers are very important. I think one of the laws that they have for prison, when they got rid of slavery but then replaced it with prison, is the number 13. And then I thought this was interesting. Number 3, they use 13 is an unlucky number supposedly. And see, that's what I'm talking about: rituals and using numerology and probably even astrology to get certain dates to try to heighten. See, they be using all this stuff. That's why they want you to believe in Christianity, so you won't learn about the ancient science to the different laws of nature and everything, because they want to use it for their benefit. But let's continue. I'm gonna read the stanza for y'all. It says, "And where is the band who so vauntly swear that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country should leave us no more? Their blood has washed out their foul footsteps. Pollution? No refuge could save the heroine and the slaves from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. And the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph doth wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave." Okay? You see that negative part they're talking about? Heroine and slave, gloom and death. engraved. It's like he's wishing death upon the Aborigines. And then calling our footsteps pollution. I found it interesting when the great Caucasoids was the ones that came over here spreading disease. Sound like to me they were the ones who was the pollution and the virus is here. Let me be quiet. It's actually in reverse. But anyway, this is terrible. And see, when we speak these ritualistic type, like the anthem, for instance, and the labeling system, calling yourself black and then white, it's like you putting them on a pedestal, and then it's like they glorifying slavery and everything, or wanting us to never succeed. See, this is what I'm talking about. We shouldn't support stuff like this at all, ever. But anyway, let's continue. In other words, Keys was saying that the blood of all the former slaves and heroin on the battlefield will wash away the pollution of the British invaders. Okay? Wow. Okay. With Keys still bitter that some Aborigine soldiers got the best of him a few weeks earlier. The Star-Spangled Banner is a much patriotic song, as it is a diss track to Aborigines who have the audacity to fight for their freedom. We should fight for our freedom. Nobody want to be a slave or be stuck in a system of great supremacy. So I don't know what they expect. If it was worse, they'd be doing the same thing. But perhaps that is why it took almost 100 years for the song to become the national anthem. Wow. Shouldn't be the national anthem. You see, I just find it interesting that when the NFL football players took a knee to the anthem and the boycott took place on the NFL football player, it's like a cutting off of the ritual of this song. And then it's like the NFL lost a lot of profits, on their sales of tickets and everything, because the football players took a knee because they didn't like how they were being treated, and the way Donald Trump, the president, treated them as well. So, I think that shows that we have more power than we think we are, and if it comes from within and out, we do our own part, it makes a world of difference, but let's continue. It says, to hear more of the story, there's an excellent short documentary about the history of the Star-Spangled Banner by some students of Morgan State University. In the meantime, it might be good to switch up your 4th of July patriotic playlist. Exactly. We should not really. I don't even know if we should be even singing that. We should, if anything, we should do the Black national anthem. How about that? I'm gonna suggest that for my family when the 4th of July we go barbecuing. Celebrate our national anthem. Not the Black, but the Aborigine national anthem. Gotta get used to saying it that way. We all been brainwashed and indoctrinated here in this country. We have to catch ourselves. I have to catch myself too in speaking this. I'm gonna play a little bit of this, you guys. I don't know if y'all seen this video, but I'm going to play it and let y'all see it. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the end of the choir at the end. Y'all know what I'm talking about because they're still singing the song, but yeah, everybody know what the Star-Spangled Banner here, sounds like. But I'm finna play it. Hopefully you all can hear it. So here we go. Oh, before I go, let me mention this here. At the bottom, it says Jason Johnson, political editor of The Root. It's a professor of political science at Morgan State School of Global Journalism and Communication, and is a frequent guest on MSNBC, CNN, Al Jazeera International, Fox Business News, and Sirius XM satellite. gonna go ahead and play this, you guys. Okay, fast forward this a little bit along the way. Once we get on in there. Sorry. That's the original singer. One of them. There we go.
In August of 1914, 1 month after the first shots of World War I were fired in Europe, and less than 30 days after Babe Ruth made his Major League Baseball debut with the Boston Red Sox, Margaret Woodrow Wilson, the oldest daughter of the 28th President of the United States, took on the role as the nation's First Lady following her mother's death. Margaret, who attended Goucher College and the Peabody Institute of Music in Baltimore, yearned to be a concert singer. But her most famous performance came in 1915 when she recorded singing the Star-Spangled Banner in the White House. The song, which was written 100 years earlier by Francis Scott Key, had not yet become America's national anthem. That took another 16 years, and the efforts of Maryland Congressman John Charles Lincoln, who introduced a bill to make the Star-Spangled Banner this nation's official patriotic song 14 times before it became law in 1931. During the Star-Spangled Banner's journey from its start as a barroom song to its adoption as America's national anthem, it traveled the bumpy road forged by this nation's conflicting ideas about race and human equality. Francis Scott Key's role in this journey is rooted in a series of events that began in the early days of the War of 1812.
British troops had made their way from Benedict in southern part of Maryland. They marched their way toward Washington, and on August 24th, they engaged British troops. And these are regular British troops. They engaged them at Bladensburg, just outside of Washington, D.C. And they fairly handily rout the American troops. It doesn't go well for the American troops, but to be fair, they were hastily assembled. The defenses of Washington were not very well planned, unlike here in Baltimore where they were.
In the spring of 1814, as a British fleet massed for an invasion of the Chesapeake Bay, the British commander, Admiral Alexander Cochrane, issued a proclamation that offered slaves freedom if they sought the protection of his forces.
On the British side, you have a very interesting dynamic because what the British realize, Admiral Cochrane, Sir Alexander Cochrane, who is in charge of the fleet, while he's here, he realizes that they can take advantage of the fact that this is where you have enslaved African Americans. So in Maryland at the time, what the Royal Marines, the Royal Navy do is they encourage slaves who are in this region to join the colonial Marines.
So they put out a proclamation during the Revolutionary War and in the War of 1812 saying any enslaved people taking over the British cause would get their freedom. And that happened during the Revolution. You know, that is another sort of unknown story in war because thousands of slaves did come over and join the British Navy and the British Army.
Other folks would see that as a betrayal of their country. But then the question that you encounter is, well, what does freedom mean for these men? And obviously, for those enslaved men who decided to join the colonial Marines, well, to them, free life in Halifax was free life in Halifax because they weren't experiencing that in Virginia or Maryland.
He was a lieutenant in a militia unit that was sent to stop the British advance on the American capital. But the American troops were routed by a British force.
The British took a prisoner. Among the prisoners they took was a
Well, you guys, I'm gonna stop here because this is a lengthy video. I just wanted to let y'all see, at least, about 5 minutes of it so you can get a gist of it. But if y'all want to see the rest of it, I'm going to put a link to this article so y'all can check it out as well. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. I think more of us need to know about our history, There's so much stuff that's hidden that we didn't know. I believe that this should have been taught in school, but I guess they didn't do it because they knew that a lot of us wouldn't want to see it. And it explains a lot um, about this country and what it's based on. And it's like even down to the labeling system, everything is a ritual, and it's on the based on the suffering of our ancestors. And it just seems like it's something that they want to continue doing. And I said before, it's a change of our mind. We change our routine and our way of thinking, and changing our spiritual, way of thinking, um, thinking from within and out, changing the labeling system, speaking more positive flow of words for ourselves as our label, for ourselves, and not speaking that positive energy towards, the the Caucasians, you know, you know, and this song, has a, you know, a negative history toward, and one way is that we can start singing more of our song, the Aborigine national anthem, which is the Black national anthem, what they also call the Black national anthem. But, the Aborigine national anthem, that's something that we can sing, play and sing, as opposed to this anthem that, we always hear about, that we don't hear the full truth. We only hear partial truths. But yeah, but that's what I wanted to share with you all. This story about our, indigenous and Aboriginal heritage, and hearing about what was going on with the Star-Spangled Banner just shows you how everything is like full circle. It's this ritual singing that's based on, everything is based on slavery. And we wonder why things haven't changed. Things are not changing as much as we would like. That's part of the problem. And I think, like I said, it's pure psychology, it's mental, it's spiritual, but the more we enlighten ourselves, the more we educate ourselves, the better we get, the more changes that we can make, on a personal level, which, once we come together as, you know, as a group, if all of us are actually woke and actually seeing things for what they are, and actually making changes in with our mind, the way we think, and spirituality, we can all make a world of difference and change things. But no, I'm gonna put the link below to this video, y'all. If y'all haven't seen the whole video, go ahead and check it out. And till next time, peace, family, and be blessed. And don't forget to I'm on Facebook. Like my Facebook page. You can join. I have a community. I also am on Black Junction TV. I also have a PayPal, Patreon, and a GoFundMe as well. I need to remember to put a link. I'll be forgetting, but I'll try to remember. But till next time, family, y'all be blessed and peace. Bye bye.